Not everybody likes to small talk. Like their worst nightmare is being in a crowded elevator, having to talk to people and it's stuck. Not me. That's my time to shine, okay? I will press every single button in the elevator just so we have enough time to finish our icebreakers, okay? You guys don't play icebreakers in the elevator? Guess you're not from the Midwest, okay? And then sometimes just me in the elevator. And then I get lonely. And then I see some poor sap 30 feet away, and I stick open my arm to hold open the elevator. And I'm like, hurry up, we're about to start Two Truths and a Lie.
Are you ready for your last comedian of the evening? Yes. You're gonna love him. He's a club favorite. He's America's favorite. It's Adam Nate Levine, everybody.
Wow. I got to say, this is definitely the best eulogy I've ever been to. This is amazing. I hope you guys can come to mine one day. All right, cool. Well, yeah, I am America's favorite. That's pretty nice. Okay, you guys don't give anything. That's fair. I respect that. It's back in America's court. All right. I worked today. I work for a startup, and it's definitely going to fail, and that's mostly because they hired me, okay? I studied philosophy in college. I don't know how anything on the spreadsheet thing works, all right? And for whatever reason, they made me in charge of the finances, and under my financial stewardship, we did lay off about half the company in December. So that's, all right, I see the business guys here are giving me eyes. But anyways, we work from home. I like working from home, and when COVID happened and everyone was doing it, people would ask me for advice. Like, Adam, what's it like to work from home? And I'm like, all right, working remotely it's basically like, have you ever masturbated 5 times in a day? Because that's exactly what it's like, all right? Every time I get on a Zoom meeting and someone's there and they're late by more than 2 to 3 minutes, I'm like, all right, were you off or were you taking a nap? All right? We all know it. Just say it, all right? It depends on their smile. That's how you can tell. Anyways. All right. Sounds like a couple people were in the 5 Timers Club today. Anyways, remote work, it's for sure made me very soft, okay? Like, if somebody schedules a meeting on a Friday, I'm like, oh, my God, this is an OSHA violation. What are we doing? And if there's a meeting scheduled, Monday or whatever after 4 p.m., I mean, I haven't worked since lunch. So I'm on the phone. I'm like, call the National Labor Relations Board. I cannot handle this. But it's tough. I see all these people, these jobs. They're trying to make them come back to the office. Couldn't be me. I would not do it. And here's my advice if you're in a situation. You got to become unmanageable. What does that sound like to you? Your first thing is like, oh, easy. I would microwave fish in the break room. Wrong. You got to turn that up to 11. Lobster boil. All right? Leave no stone unturned. Okay? I'm eating 30 fiber chia seed muffins in the morning. I'm crop dusting everybody throughout the whole day. We have an hour-long meeting. I get there early to fart. Set the tone. My least favorite thing about remote work, though, I just described a bunch of positives, unless you're middle management. I clearly have no drive in that part. This is, what I spend my time doing. And the hard part of our remote work is I got to be honest with you, New York Comedy Club and our viewers at home. It is damn near impossible to get workers' comp from remote work. I have tried my hardest, and they reject every single claim. The closest I got was arthritis, and we know you off all the time. It's not the work computer. But I did work in the office once upon a time. That was my. I like that because that was where I did all my toilet paper shopping and printing. It was. So much middle management energy here. You guys don't like it. Anyways, I sat next to the office feminist, and luckily she didn't hate men. She just had a bad haircut. But she did a lot of educating. She hung up a sign in the break room that said, women make 71 cents on the man's dollar. And I remember going up and I was like, wow, Izzy, is this true? And she was like, yes, thank you for reading this. I was like, do women really carry around change all day? And she was like, no, you're not getting it. Anyways, I like doing that. I like talking to people. I like to small talk. I like to chit chat. I can do 10 minutes on the weather to somebody who speaks English as a second language. That's my thing. I will go to Target and I will wear a red shirt. All right, that's how much I love this. Okay, I've accidentally worked a double shift. They gave me overtime. All right. Anyways, not everybody likes to small talk. Like their worst nightmare is being in a crowded elevator, having to talk to people and it's stuck. Not me. That's my time to shine, okay? I will press every single button in the elevator just so we have enough time to finish our icebreakers, okay? You guys don't play icebreakers in the elevator? Guess you're not from the Midwest, okay? And then sometimes just me in the elevator. And then I get lonely. And then I see some poor sap 30 feet away, and I stick open my arm to hold open the elevator. And I'm like, hurry up, we're about to start 2 truths and a lie. And then they kind of do the like, I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. And then the elevator starts beeping. Anyways. I don't understand, though, that not everybody likes to small talk. Some people, they pay for the Uber quiet car. Would you pay more for the driver to not talk to you? And I'm like, what are you doing? That's why I get an Uber. I want a ride and a show, okay? And if they can do impressions, that's how they get their tip, all right? And this is, I feel like it's a very Malone thing. I'm like, if they can have insane political opinions, even better, because I don't watch cable news anymore, all right? Anyways, a bunch of everyone's here. Middle management, Fox News. Anyways, these people who don't like the small talk, they're like, Adam, don't you think it's presumptuous to think that the Uber driver wants to have a conversation with you? I'm like, are you kidding me? Every Uber I've ever been in, the driver's already on a 3-way speaker call, okay? It's like, let me sit shotgun. I can barely hear back there, all right? Anyways, one thing I found out, people are very bad at small talking to the Jews, and they will they'll say things like, you guys are the best race at handling your money. And I was like, that's actually anti-Semitic. You shouldn't say that. They're like, what do you mean? That's a compliment. Said you guys are the best. I'm like, all right, if you think it's a compliment, then why don't you rank every single race and how good they are at handling money? And when you get to last place, we'll see how the Greeks feel about it. Okay? Hits later for the Europeans, but they're there. They're there. All right. Let's talk about some real issues these days. Dogs. It's crazy now, okay? When I was growing up, it was simple. You had the dog, you had the tennis ball, you had the leash. If you were white, your dog had a Halloween costume, okay? But people are doing too much with their dogs. When I say people, I specifically mean white women, okay? I have a friend, she rescued a dog, obviously, paws missing, and she wraps a little red bandana around him, and I'm like, this is stolen valor. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, he looks like a Vietnam War veteran. She's like, what? I'm like, what's his name? And then she kind of realized she gets sheepish. She's like, Lieutenant Dan? I'm like, okay. All right, what are we doing here? But yeah, not everybody likes dogs. That's okay, I understand. Sometimes you get in the situation where the dog's jumping on you and slobbering on you and the owner's kind of not really doing anything. And all you got to say is this one phrase, get you out every time. All you have to say is, oh, no, it's okay. I'm sexually into this. The owners do not like that at all, okay? We got a dog owner right here, all right? And the thing is, look, sexual assault, not funny at all in any circumstances, unless it's a tiny white yappy dog that's humping somebody's leg. Then it's kind of funny, all right? Anyways, I talk about my dad now. My dad just turned... This guy, Mr. Mustache over here, all right. My dad just turned 67. Nothing? All right. My dad just turned 67, which means I've transitioned from being son to being technical support. And let me tell you about the pay. This inheritance is not worth it at all. All right. He'll call me up and he's like, Adam, this is an emergency. I'm like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Is mom okay? He's like, what's the difference between YouTube and YouTube TV? And I'm like, this is why Verizon just hangs up on people. All right. And then he's like, you're busy with your comedy stuff. I'll call your sisters. They'll come over and help. And I'm like, that's what I changed. I'm like, you get those scabs involved, I'm done in this town. All right. All right. Not a union crowd. Anyways, he can't see. I mean, he can see, but he's like all old people. The font is huge on the phone. You know what I'm talking about? his predicament's so bad. He's got one letter for the entire screen. That's how bad it is. It's like he jailbroke his iPhone to download an illegally larger font. Anyways, the other thing he's pushing is housing. He's like, you got to buy a home. This is the thing. And millennials, it's impossible. It's impossible for us to buy a home. It's just not going to happen. And so I think what we need to do in retaliation is we need to put our parents' Social Security payments behind a 2-factor authentication password. I think Social Security is an American right, but not if your password is password. All right. And so we've lost out on this American right, to buy your own home, own your own home, all that. And then they'll have the audacity to complain too. And they'll be like, well, we've lost the right to say the word Oriental. And I'm like, give me your keys. You can say it as much as you want. I don't care that much. But so they push it so much. And I'm like, I don't know. I see my dad and my mom every weekend, every free time and moment. All they're doing is yard work. My dad's moving the bricks from the front yard to the backyard, back to the front yard. My mom's remodeling the kitchen, doing grout. I don't even know what it is. And he's like, this is the American dream. And I'm like, the American dream looks a lot like a Mexican day laborer's job. Like, I don't want to do it at all. And that's like my favorite thing. I love renting. Renting is great because who cares what happens to the building when you're gone? That's why if I bombed tonight, I would have just gone home and dumped bacon grease down the drain. All right? I don't care. Such a middle management landlord crowd tonight. Believe it. Anyways, all right, I'll get out of here on this. My dad, he is trying to get better about technology. He asked me to explain to him what Bitcoin was, and I was like, Dad, yeah, you know where this is going. I was like, Dad, you're not going to get Bitcoin, okay? I was like, you barely got transgender, and this is way harder than that. All right, thank you guys very much. I've been Adam Nate Levine. Get home safe. 5 stars in New York Comedy Club.